Last time, you guys had finished off your business within the settlement of Forstead after selling off what you had gathered to that point and gathered up new supplies to continue on the road. You went to a local guardhouse to essentially let them know about the troubles over in Sedgeford after the devils attacked both you and the farms. Wanting to put something on a better notice board than just out in the town, when you were cleaning your hands within silvery water, both Clarke and Demir felt a intense burning sensation across their skin. It passed after some time, however, a nearby guard saw the event and called over a mage from a nearby room. Following said mage into the other room, he looked over the two not exactly injured but uncomfortable people as he saw that Clarke had the uh, Devil's Traitor's mark above her head, and also seeing that Demir had the teeth in his cheek. He said he had seen similar things, though mostly he had seen Clarke's symbol before. And whilst this place had been dealing with daemons previously, just because Osura is rumored to deal with them as well as summon them to help them in the wars, the thing that was affecting Clarke was different than the usual. And feeling the intense burning of both holy and silvery waters, he informed you that you could use a item known as a quicksilver salve. It was basically a combination of quicksilver and other elements, and you don't know the whole surrounding lore and magics around it, but you do know, and what he told you is that when you rub this onto certain areas of your body, it stops devil intervention. For Clarke, she needed to put it on her forehead, and for Demir, he had to apply it to his cheek. And whilst it gave a similar burning sensation and drained them of their wisdom, Demir was able to heal it up, if not for a cost of MP. You only had so much money at the time, so only bought enough for 2 nights each, already using one as you rested away from Forstead. And moving on further, you know that the next 2 places where you could buy some more of said salve would be at Mokta, which is the closest settlement, and then Bornstein before you would leave Richter Kingdom. And on your trips away, you came across a similar burning site as some other kind refugees had been burnt at the stake, essentially, along with the innkeeper who was hiding them. A burnt carriage on the side of the road that had been knocked onto its sides. With the horses dead, you inspected the carriage, though it seems that whatever wares were inside were either destroyed or taken away in the attack. You found what you now know to be a survivor, as there was a burnt orc in the wreckage. He had told you that he was accosted by 4 red orcs, though he did not say why. He did say that most of his stuff was taken away, especially due to the fact that his carriage and mounts were dead. You offered him aid in the form of healing, as well as a few gil to set him up when he gets back to the next settlements. And you guys continued on your way from there, not wanting to take him with you for any reasons you have to yourself. And as you were getting close to Mokta, though towards the end of your journey in the day, you were able to catch up with said red orcs, as the 4 of them were traveling by foot towards the settlement. Their backs hung backpacks that seemed to be heavy with loot, either their own or what they had stolen. And through conversing with them, it eventually led to them getting the idea that you were kind sympathizers, or at least sympathizers to those who were in danger, who instead turned out to be kind. They revealed that they had attacked the previous orc as they had found a red tabard amongst his items, revealing the man to be either from Kine or knowing from Kine. Dealing with the orcs, though they were very close to dealing with you with their fiery magics, you were able to cut them down. However, as you were traveling via chocobo and horse, Mr. Gibbs was in the line of fire, very literally. As Gibbs let out his final neigh and Clarke fell to the floor, Demir rushed over to the orcs to look over their effects to see if anything could be used to bring back their two fallen allies. And thankfully, the orcs did have a few magical items upon them in the form of scrolls and vials. I don't know if you ever identified. Um, yes,
No.
no,
Well,
you
I
did
tried,
not.
but
Yeah,
I
you
tried, but I
tried.
failed.
So there's
And
4
everybody else
vials,
been busy.
and there were 4 scrolls of raise. The first one being used by Demir on Clarke to bring her back to life, though imposing negative levels. And then rushing over to Gibbs, you tried to use another on him. However, it had got to the point where he had been dead for too long and the scroll would no longer work on him. Essentially, wasting the scroll, though in your mind it might not be a waste. And when it off last session, just as you were pushing the corpses off the road and gathering up what the Red Orcs had stolen, and you were deciding what you were going to do with the effects, or deciding how you were going to approach Clarke with this whole debacle coming to an end. So we shall continue from there.
Sorry, I was just finishing the typing.
Those were caster level 4 raises, correct?
Cast level 7.
7, okay.
Yeah, I may have.
Isn't it?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
fourth
that's
level
right.
spell.
Yeah, okay, so it's 1357. I forget.
To find the spell level, it's divide by 2, add 1. Or add 1, divide by 2. Either way, you get the same result.
But look, there ain't no use standing around here. We gotta go.
It's getting late. We should probably camp again soon.
Yeah, we don't want to repeat of what happened last time. Twiglet, do you mind talking to her? I don't think people really come back normally.
Miss Clarke?
She's sort of just staring at the ground. Just sort of very slightly lifts up her head.
Are you good to keep moving?
She'll nod. And then just slowly continue walking north, if that's the direction we're going.
And then they'll just kind of look back towards Crum and Demir and keep walking next to Clarke. Sticks close to her.
Cromwell stay at the back. Just walk him. We do have chocobos though, don't we? Slightly out of range, like down here. Do we want to get those?
Yeah, and I will summon another one for Clarke, even though that's not exactly what she wants right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll go get those and we can jump on.
Far away are we from the next settlement? Mokta?
Unless you're going through the night, you'll get there tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we're not. I was like, my suggestion would be that we just get away from this area and find a place to camp.
Yeah, because it was getting late, right? Because we've
Yeah.
been traveling most of the day. Yeah, agreed. But yeah, barring that, I haven't got anything else to say right now. It's more like a travel in silence, lots of thoughts rather than actions at the minute.
Just as a FYI, that 32.25 is for each of us.
Well,
Is
that's
Sorry.
that's also next topic. Like, what are we gonna do with all this stuff? Because some of it was from the guy they burned. Most of it was from the guy they burned.
I thought we decided that if he caught up to us, we would give most of it back to him, if not all of it.
I ain't got much use for a lot of this, apart from the food.
Won't need the feed anymore. I'll say that out of Clarke. Out of Clarke's hearing.
It's up to you. I'd say we keep it.
Looking at the road we're traveling, like, I don't know if that's where to tell the survival or something, like how often traveled does it seem to be, like how busy is it? Like we've only seen these two troops, like the orcs and the first orc. But is it like usual to only have like not that much travel, or
You can roll survival.
Skills I'm good at. Although Mentha consistently rolls higher than me. Yep.
the same bonus?
I know you got cheats, you got hacks.
Mhm.
I have very few things I'm good at. Leave me alone.
What do you mean? I have one thing I'm good at and you're better at than me.
Alright, looking across the roads, it does seem like it is actively travelled. However, you don't see any deep-set tracks of sabatons or wheels from heavy shipments, which would be a weird thing to see, as you know that Forstead equips the armies, so they would send out equipment. So, is that your best guess how they're getting it across if they're not going through land?
Because if he doesn't, because he's basically a day behind us. And if he's coming towards Mokta as well, we could just leave at least some of it on the side of the road and hope it goes to the right person. If he catches up before anyone else does.
Unless somebody has their own carriage and mounts, you're pretty sure he would come across it first.
Yeah, because he was literally behind us, right? Yeah.
And you did give him a mount for so long.
Yeah, so he can travel. He was at our speed once he got like his shit together, wasn't he? So he's probably only like a few hours behind us in general. Oh, in character, Crumb will just say. It's up to y'all. Frankly, I say it's more than enough pay to we take whatever we had. I mean, shit, we lost 2 people. Well, people. This
We should at
hero
least
shit
give
ain't
some of it back to him.
As I say, it's up to y'all. I don't care 2 ways either way.
If he catches up, we'll give him whatever he can carry. No point giving him anything he can't.
Alright, what do you guys think?
I make my position clear. I don't care either way we can do with it, but at the same time, we got enough supplies to last.
I agree with Demir.
But what did you promise him? Because y'all were talking to him a bit more. Demir, did you tell him you're gonna leave this here? For him?
No, I didn't. I said that we'd give him the money that we gave him. And that, I don't remember everything I said.
Fine. But if you gave him your word, the that you're gonna leave his shit here, and you don't remember, and you take it, that's on your head. If you didn't, and you don't remember, then shit, take what you want. Just remember that.
We'll just start stuffing the stuff into the bags that we have.
So is the party going to be hunkering down for the night?
I think so. We agreed that, right? I'm not just saying that out of turn.
Yeah, we probably move like a mile or so up the road just to get away from the scene, and then move off the road a little bit, so we're not like right on the road and then camp.
I will, before we sort of bed down for the evening, I'll take my clay tankard out and pour a measure of the Dragon Punch whiskey and give it to Clarke. I won't say anything, I'll just give it to her, and then go back. Healthy double. That's all I'm going to do tonight.
Okay. Crom, I need you to give me a perception, please.
Okay.
Are you still going with the double watches, or is that just for the farm at Sedgefoot?
Kind of feel like we go back to single watches because. Are you going? Well, I suppose the question is, and we can do this in character, are Clarke and Demir comfortable that they don't think we're going to be attacked by demons? At the very least.
Yeah, demons are never going to attack you.
Not demons, devils, you know what I mean?
I'm never gonna be free of the fear that something like that's gonna happen again until we get these marks or whatever off of us. I don't know that it's gonna be today or tomorrow, but I feel like best do double watches still. That's my opinion.
Alright, if you are doing double watches, it'll be both Crom and Demir doing a perception.
Here come the fives. Oh yeah.
Alright, you can both make a knowledge religion untrained.
I'm just gonna say Demir's got that one. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
So you just get to accept that Crom doesn't know.
I mean, I'll roll to assist, but I sincerely
There is no
doubt I know.
assist, it's your personal knowledge.
Yeah,
Untrained knowledge checks are the best.
nah.
Because they always go either exactly as you expect or brilliantly.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah. It can only be good.
No, but no.
Alright, Crom has no real clue. You'll just see some more stars in the sky tonight. However, Demir, you can swear that you can see the constellation of Ixion shining a bit brighter tonight.
It's good to see something shining down on us. Gives a little bit of hope.
Sort of, Cromwell kind of stir. What do you mean?
Well, you see those stars right there? Look almost like a horse. That's Ixion right there.
Ixion?
Aye.
Who? I mean, would I know the name Ixion? Because, I mean, Ixion's an astral.
You probably would have heard him, but with your knowledge, you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the name before from a few traveling folk, but, I mean, what are they, some kind of star creature?
Well, I will start divesting some of the basic knowledge that I have of this world for Ixion, because I have, out of character, I have no idea what this world entails the astrals to be. So, whatever basic knowledge I glean from that, I'll let him know what I know.
You... Alright, well, sounds like an interesting creature. I mean, do you follow him? You got religion?
Not that one particularly. I definitely believe in the gods. I've never been one to hold to a specific one. But having gods look down on us in a favourable manner would be a blessing right now.
True. You know, you never hear stories of angels coming down or something like that anymore, do you?
There's
It's
the
always-
country bumpkin.
Hey, leave me alone. We are folktales.
Well, you're right, but then again, I've never heard of devils coming down either. Or whatever you want to call it.
Shit, even we heard of devils. Never heard the story of the crossroads before?
That's all with them Winchester boys.
Hmm.
Yeah, them folks rode through there a while ago, but you know what I mean, right? There's always fairy tales and thoughts about the things that want to hurt us in the night. Horned creatures, hellfire, all that kind of shit. Makes you wonder if they really care. I mean, not the devils, we know they care. I mean, the other side.
I'm sure that some of them do.
And where are they? Yeah, that's what I
Not
thought.
taking quite as active a role as the devils are currently.
Alright.
Although, seeing as how that's Ixion, we might be looking at a storm tomorrow, so keep that in mind.
I will. Cromwell sort of pulled himself up. I'm gonna walk the camp. You're right here.
I'm alright. I'm just gonna keep looking at the stars while they're still in the sky.
Oh, before I forget, and he'll pull something out of his pack and we'll pass you the bottle of Dragon Punch whiskey. There is a little bit missing.
That, for me,
Yes, for you.
I don't normally drink, but I'd gladly share a drink with you tonight at least.
Aim for tonight. It's for them times when you all feeling a bit sorry for yourself.
Well, I appreciate that. Hopefully, that's not going to be any time in the near future. I'm feeling a lot more myself since recently.
I see that. I mean, no, just out of curiosity, because it's been one night since
Mhm.
they've used the salve, and I'm assuming that Jaster and Entro, you've used your cells again today, right? Before you slept.
Depending on
So,
what time. I think, did we do it in the morning?
No,
I
you
think
do
we
it
did
before
it-
you sleep.
last time you did it before you went to sleep.
Okay,
so it'd be
yeah.
like-
Then yeah, I would be doing it before bed as well.
Do they look different? Like, have they got like veins sticking out, or have they gone pale? Like signs of quicksilver poisoning?
Since Demir used recover last time, it pretty much got rid of most of the noticeable results. But as Demir applies it again, you will see that his veins or arteries would turn blue across his face. And if you are using it 2 nights in a row, you're also taking 2 wisdom damage.
Okay. I will use the that spell. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head anymore.
It's restore to get rid of
Yeah,
damage.
yeah, restore. I only have the basic version, which will only get rid of 1 point, I believe.
It's 1d4 for restore, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a roll.
Okay.
Yeah, 1d4.
It's the negative levels for restorer that are set, I think.
All right. First one's for myself. Second one is going to be for Clarke. Oh, beautiful.
Look at that.
It seems like Ixion is shining on you to get rid of that condition. But as Demir spends the 4 MP to get rid of that, you'll see that the veins kind of disappear again. They are sweating because it is hot against them, but
Yeah.
besides that, they don't seem too ill from it.
Be careful. I know you got magical shit and all, but don't trust things like that. Look, I'm gonna go to the other side of the camp, keep an eye out. Alright?
All right.
Yeah, it'll just go to the side of the camp and...
Demir, what is your bonus to concentration?
It's one of my higher. I will roll one for you.
Because you need to roll one. It'll be spelled to yourself first, so you don't have to do 2. So just roll 1. Alright, you're able to do it.
Yeah, my bonus is 17.
Your bonus is 6 for that, because you rolled a cast level check, not some concentration.
Oh, oops. Yeah, that's supposed to be a concentration. So 17 instead of 6. So plus 11 to that.
You have a big bonus to concentration.
Yeah, I have a trait and a feat, and I got a large wisdom.
Fair enough.
Wisdom plus caster level plus 2 for the trait and plus 4 for the feat.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
With a 17, you would still need to roll. You need to roll a 2 or higher, because it's a 19 for second levels.
yeah, so but with that roll that I already gave you, it's more than enough.
Mhm. All right. Are you two doing anything else during this watch, or are you just gonna pass on through?
I'm good to pass on through. I've done what I need to do.
Yeah, pass on through.
Alrighty. The day will pass into the next. You will heal your level in health and your casting level and casting modifier in MP.
Oh, no, that's not right.
Remember, also recover your limit breaks and mythic points. Not mystic. Mystic is a class.
Demir, are you right to use one of those cure ones just to top us off?
Before we go to sleep, I would probably just do lay on hands on everybody because I will recover those.
Okay.
And I need my MP. I used 1 or 2 of them.
Does it heal energy drain by any chance?
If only.
Let me go to my abilities and look at my lay on hands. Oh yeah, I've got like 3 plus 5. I've got 8 of them a day, so I'll just use them up until oh yeah, it looks like I used 1 throughout the day, so I've got 7 of them to use. So if you want me to roll them, I can, but I feel like we're gonna get over our maxes. Mentha's fine. Crom needs like 1. Clarke and me will probably take up the rest of them.
Ready. Good with that. I'll do that. When we get up, I'll make some coffee for everyone because I have that. Can I sense motive Clarke?
Depends if Clarke is hiding anything, or if you just want to try and gauge her current emotional state.
I'm trying to gauge. This sounds like a really stupid question, but I don't know. I'm trying to gauge if something came back with her when she died, because we don't know.
What do you mean?
You're not superstitious?
Yeah, if you're superstitious, I'm gonna have to ask you to roll a will save anytime you get healed.
No, it's more the case of. No, it's probably just.
I don't know what you're trying to ask for sense motive to see if she brought something back. That would be if you think she's being possessed. Yes, that'd be sense motive. But if it's like something hanging around her, that's not going to be sense motive.
No, it was more like sort of if anything had happened while she was dead.
Yes, she was most likely scarred for life.
Yeah, I guess that. Never mind, it's fine.
Right, is the party going to be leaving any of the items they took from the Red Orcs by the side of the road?
Mantha will at least drop their share of the kill.
Yeah, Crom will do the same. If Mentha's doing it, I'll drop it on hers.
I don't even know if I noticed that.
They're like, Mantha's not gonna say anything about it or make a big deal out of it. Just, well, we're like cleaning up the camp and starting to move. They'll just drop it somewhere where it's, well,
Obvious.
I guess noticeable enough, yeah.
Well, I'll tell
And
you what.
hope it goes to the right person.
Is there like an obvious tree on the road anywhere? That we could...
Not particularly.
Okay.
You could find one with a branch that's kind of hanging over into the road, but high up. If you wanted to dangle off of that.
If we're good to sacrifice one of the orc war axes, Crom will just embed it into the road and then put the gill like in a sack next to it.
We could also leave the lantern and oil behind if you don't want that.
Got no need for it. Me personally, I don't have any need for it.
No, I don't either.
No.
I have other means of lighting stuff up if I need to.
Yeah, you pick up your Mandragora friend and aim it.
I have sun rods as well, but there is also that option.
Alright, just type in the chat what you're leaving behind for the orc that was accosted. And would Crom still be leaving behind the gill if the Red Orcs said that they believed that the orc was a Kine native?
That's actually true. I would not in that case.
Because that's what they said, doesn't mean that is what's true. But it's up to you what Crom would do.
I didn't sense motive it. I didn't do anything with it. That's probably what he believes. I will not leave the guild. In fact, I won't leave anything.
Was it Demir putting down the axe? Or was it Crom doing that?
It was going to be Crom.
It was going to be me, but you just reminded me of that, so I will not be doing that. It's be up to you guys.
Just leave it down somewhere by the road, like maybe at the base of a rock or a tree.
It'd be much easier to spot it against a rock, so I'll assume you do it there.
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty. Leaving behind some extra gil, I take it you all head towards Mokta. Is Demir summoning up some chocobos for the short walk there?
Yeah, for a short walk there, probably not. Not yet.
Because you're currently going at 20 foot because of Mentha.
I can make
Like-
it 30.
Can I carry Mentha?
Would it impose weight penalties on you?
How much does Mentha weigh?
With gear.
With gear.
Not a whole. 47 just as them.
Demir's at
And-
20 as well.
10 on top of that, so 57.5 pounds.
Seeing if that puts me in heavy.
Those
It
numbers mean
doesn't.
nothing to me because I don't know Imperial system, but
So if
If
I
it put-
carry you, I still go at 30.
Though Demir did bring up that he also moved at 20, so it's not going to help unless he can be sped up.
God fucking okay. never mind.
So if you're going at 20, it's going to take you the whole day to get to Mokta because you're going only at 16 miles a day.
I think my spells today allows me to go faster or personal. Let me
Long
check.
Strider, I think is.
Yeah, long strider. Yeah, it's personal.
To me, how much do you weigh?
I'm not going to let you carry both of them and move at full speed, no.
No, I was just saying.
Well, I can
if
put
Mentha
long
can
strider on
move-
myself.
Yeah, if Mentha
Oh,
can
yeah.
move at 30 for how long?
It's hours per level.
Yeah.
If we're in a forest, that's 7 hours.
So how much does Demir weigh? If not, we may as well just.
And does Demir want to be carried?
It's
That
not
is
an
also a
option.
question.
He doesn't
I mean,
get a
at the
health gain.
very least, I can summon one chocobo. That's not gonna. That's 1 MP.
Or could two of you ride that? Because is any. Technically,
No.
Mentha's small size, right?
I'm
No.
I am
medium.
small.
Demir is medium.
Oh, so you can't have. Yeah, you'd have to have two at least. And that would still be 30.
And I weigh 185 without my gear.
How the fuck? Alright.
He's stocky.
Dwarf, that's how.
To be fair, actually, if I look at my actual weight, I'm heavy as shit. There we are.
Yeah, they.
I'm literally a root.
Okay.
So
I think
Demir is summoning up a chocobo for himself, and Mentha's using Longstrider.
Sure. If you think that's fine.
it would still be at 30 though. So how long would it take us to get there?
It's going to take you 6 hours. Well, 5.5, but
Yeah, if you want to save the MP, Demir, it's up to you. I'm happy to do that if you guys are all good for that. Jester, you alright with that?
I am more than willing to summon more chocobos, but I mean, if we don't have to, I would kind of like to recover some of my MP because I've been like 3 days without going to the max MP.
Oh. It's either 4 MP from you and we get there faster, or 2 MP from each of us and we get to recover for 6 hours.
Yeah, you may as well do that.
1 MP from each of us. What did I say? So yeah, we get the 6 hours of MP recovery and we get to just walk. Which is probably good for us.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, we kind of need to clear our heads. So
Instead of jumping right into another settlement after whatever the fuck happened yesterday.
Yeah, I think we've all got our own little like mental battles we're dealing with here. So some time Crom would appreciate a walk.
Jester?
Yeah, I did agree, but then I realised my mic wasn't working until Jack told me.
Alright. So, 2 MP from Menford, 2 MP from Tamir.
2 from me?
1.
It's Mount 1. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Mount is 1.
Gonna get
Oh,
that
sorry,
map
it's 1.
communal.
I probably said 2 by accident.
Yeah, Menford did say 2, and I was like, okay,
tried to
Mount's
fix
2.
myself later on, but I don't fucking know what
You
I'm talking
lied
about.
to us. How dare you?
Yeah, I already
Yeah, trust
took my
again.
1 out.
Alrighty. After summoning that mount, you take a long trek over towards Mokta. As you are moving, everyone can roll perception.
Finally.
I can't stop complaining about it.
I changed the code.
Okay. Menfa, you get a feeling of spiders rolling across your back, almost as if something is there. And Crom, you're currently downwind of it, and you can smell someone that is kind of not close, but you could probably see him if you turned around behind you.
I'll turn straight around. With a sort of mini growl forming in his throat.
So just start looking around.
As you look behind you, off in the distance, probably an ant at how far away he is. As far as you can tell, it is the burnt orc you had helped earlier, just on the horizon, who is just fast enough to be catching up.
Catching up, or like are they on a mount, or what are they doing?
They don't have a mount anymore, no, but it seems their walking speed is faster than 30.
Okay. Your friend's coming back.
Oh, looks like it. Should we wait for him to catch up?
Only if we'll still make it to Mokta by nightfall.
But they're going faster than us. I said we keep going.
Okay.
And as you approach Mokta, the 6 hours would have passed if you want to have your clear mind. And towards the exterior, probably even past that, you'll see, set atop a tree stump, is a cross-legged Guado, who's seemingly meditating.
Sorry, where are they sat?
They're sat atop a tree stump. They are looking towards the settlement, but they have their eyes closed.
Different strokes for different folks, I guess.
And if you pass by, I'll need everyone to give me another perception check, please.
Ugh. How dare you? Do feel your bonus is a lot better than
It's
mine.
just like the other day, I'm getting rid of all your good rolls before you get to a battle.
A lot. You say it a lot better. It's just like 1 higher.
Alright, everyone besides Clarke, as you are entering into the settlement, you'll feel as if there's brushes going against your sides, your face, and your legs, almost as if there's, in real life, like a car wash spinning around you. In this, it's not really a comparative term for it, it's just like brushes. As you move forwards, and it goes over your bodies towards your back and then leaves you, almost as if you passed through something as you enter into Mokta.
Are we cleaner?
Hard to say. Doesn't seem like it brushed away anything, it was just moving over you.
You don't feel that?
Yeah. What was?
That was very strange, and I'll use detect magic and see what I can see with that.
As you use detect magic, you'll see that there is a dome-like barrier starting at the extent of the settlements, just before the Guado atop the tree stump, and it goes all around the settlement. To find anything further, you could roll Knowledge Arcana to learn the school, or Spellcraft to find the specific spells. Menfa, as usual, has no clue. However, Demir, I'm not going to tell you about Arcana because you're just going to know. With your spellcrafts, you can tell that the barrier has a mix of effects going across it. To start, it is a protection from evil domain. I'll give you the spell here. It is a specific spell for clerics. It was only added a few months ago, but it's basically just protection from evil. It essentially protects everyone within the barrier against evil creatures, give them higher deflection and resistance against their effects, as well as attempts to halt any summoned creatures from entering it. As well as that, it seems that there is a alarm system in place, telling whoever put this up, or possibly connected to a different device, saying that someone has entered it. There is a detect bloodline, which also shows if what race the creature is. And aside from that, it just has a general protective area, probably protecting against outwards attacks and spells, though it is not overly high. It seems like it protects from a few attacks at best and then dissipates.
Oh, it looks like they've got some evil protection and some detection wards up around the town.
Oh, well, that's good then, isn't it?
It is. I don't know if it'll be enough that we can sleep here tonight, but at least the people of the town will be a little bit more protected if something does happen.
Demir, you can roll. Also, Demir and Menva, you can both roll perception.
Jeez, 5-4-2 for me.
Fine, we've got
For
combat.
once.
Save them for then.
Thankfully, the DC is relatively low because you know where it is, so both Menfa and Demir can see this. As you look towards each other, you will notice in the corner of your eye, and probably look to it a bit closer, that the mark above Clarke's head is kind of fizzling and waving.
Oh, do you see that?
Yeah. Maybe we could actually stay here for the night.
Say what? What are y'all on about?
The symbol, it looks like it's being interfered with.
I mean, you did say the barrier is like protection against evil, so maybe that's what's messing with it.
Yeah, it might be, but I also get the feeling that we might be visited relatively soon from guards or something like that because of the mark and whatnot. So we'll see what happens.
What do you mean visited? Like, didn't you deal with that back in Forstead?
No, so the detection part of it, somebody knows that we're here, and
Oh, well,
they know that I'm a dwarf and you're a Mandragora and stuff like that. They may also have some sort of information on because of the mark and because of the thing on my face, they may have some information that was given to them by their little detection spell. So,
Speaking of, does Tamir's cheek seem any different with the detect magic on?
You can still see that the lines of the fangs are still there, but it's not changed as far as you can tell. It's always been faint anyway when you have detect magic up.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh.
Right, G, were you saying something?
Well, then we just have to stay put and behave. We're not here to do anything. Like with Forsted, if we're honest about it, I'm sure they'll understand.
Maybe.
And if not, well, then just do like we did in every other place, I guess.
I'd also like to see if we can get some more of that salve, because I've got no more.
Yeah. Knocked is somewhere we can get it from. Bondon's a bit too far away. What I would say is how much you got left. The both.
I think we've both only got the 2, so we've got no more left for a night.
Hello?
I guess we need more of their cell, so I guess that's the direction we're having to head.
But the good news is that if we get to stay here tonight in relative safety, that the effects of using it multiple days in a row should go down, and hopefully reset that little timer bit of it.
You guys' bodies a chance to recover from the poisoning. A bit.
Aye, that's what I meant.
You said there was someone probably coming for us. Should we wait, or do we just go about our business first?
Well, if they're coming for us, we'll know shortly, and if not, they probably will be able to find us.
As far as you can tell, nothing changed in the settlement as you entered. No one's coming towards you.
Like, probably gonna, like, where are we gonna find this salve anyway? Last time we got it from the guards, so do we find guards from here too? Do we just ask around in a shop, since they seem to have evil protections going on anyway? Maybe it's more common here?
Maybe, but I think going to the guardhouse would be more likely, or if we can find a healing church, that might be another one to try.
Alright. Do you wanna try the guards first or the church first?
Well, considering how little we know about this town, probably whichever one we come across first.
Alright. Works for me, I guess. Do we need anything else from here?
We had rations last night because we didn't survival, I'm pretty sure. So how many have we got left?
I just got a bunch that nobody was
Yeah,
wanting
we've
to
got
return.
like 27 rations.
We have loads of actual physical food. So is that in the party loot at the minute?
Yes, all of it's in the party loot for now.
Okay, so what did we use last night? That's the real question.
Up to you guys.
Our own personal stocks, probably.
Okay, yeah, for the sake of argument, we'll do that. Personal stocks, gone. Cool. Well, you two want to go, or do you want us to all go with you? What is Mokta like? Like, is it just very religious?
Mokta, the streets are mostly barren. You only see one or two people walking about. Many of the hovels have open wooden windows. If you care to peek inside, you'll see that most people are either praying or meditating within their homes. The largest, or at least the second largest building that you can see, possibly used to be some sort of military or militaristic building. You could have said it would be a guard hall of some sort. It is overgrown with grass and fungus. And the actual largest hovel is both round and has several chimneys reaching high up, tufts of smoke coming out of them. As far as you could tell, that would be where the elder of the village resides. Aside from that, the town is mostly quiet, if not for some humming on the wind.
I'm just taking like a big sniff. Something's wrong here. I don't know what, but this don't seem right.
What do you mean, Crum? What are you smelling?
Nothing. And that's the thing, nothing. There's no...
You'll smell some smoke and cooking food, but...
Yeah, but that's what I mean. There's no, like... It's gonna sound really weird. There's no... I take it if I... Do I need to roll perception for it, for scent? But this place seems almost sterile. Does that sound about right in terms of...
No.
No?
It's a bit cleaner than most places, but definitely not sterile. It's just a lot of the populace is content with being at home, praying and meditating.
But there's no guards. There's no...
As far as you can tell, there are no guards on patrol, no.
No. And the military building is completely overgrown and fungus-ridden.
Yes. You could enter it, but you're pretty sure it's not being used. At least not used for anything military-wise.
How would we be this close to the boulder of Mysteria?
I mean, close-wise, 128 miles. If you're moving with chocobos, that's still about 5 days away.
Still, but I mean, this is... Richter is... I might be wrong here. Richter is known for being, like... It's attacked on 3 sides, right? The only place it's not being attacked from is the Southlands. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. This is... I say it's close to the border. It's not that close to the border. But it's... Still, like, every other town we've been through, apart from Forstead, and just the general veneer of the Richtons, is like that kind of patriotic defense, like, stay out of our lands, right?
Essentially.
That vibe
Since there's no, like, television or mass telepathy, nobody knows, like, general events. They don't know specific events. They just know generally, oh, we hate Mysteria, we hate Kind, we hate Asura because we're at war.
Yeah, it's very, like, broad spectrum, kind of blanket hatred, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That doesn't seem to be the case here.
Well, they're not out in the street shouting, I hate those people, they're yellow.
Everyone else has been.
Well, in Forstead, if you Forstead, Sedgefoot, and Met, whenever you mentioned Kine, a lot of people, like, stop talking, start looking at you just to make sure you're not sympathizers. But they don't, like, walk around saying, oh, I hate them. If you mention it, they'll tell you they hate them. The only like deliberate hatred is when you saw the kind refugees and the innkeeper burning at the stake in Forstead.
Maybe it's just a different, like, it's just different cities. Just seems weird. I don't know. It's just a feeling. Ain't got no real backing up for it, I guess.
Maybe they just have a lot of faith in their barrier.
Yeah, maybe. Well, shit, standing in the road ain't gonna do us much good. Let's go towards that, well, whatever the hell that thing is, and I'll just point at the structure that has obvious smoke coming out of it, the bigger one.
So is everyone going to the Elder's residence?
I imagine so. Unless someone particularly wants to split up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go east. See you guys later. Wait, no, west. We're already going east.
You are going west. You're going northwest.
My compass skills completely failed me there.
Yeah, there's east and there's the right, right?
Dear. Yeah, we are actually going northwest. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
If Clarke's not saying anything, I'll kind of just grab her hand to make sure she's following us.
She'll plod along.
All right. As you approach the Elder's house, Crom's nostrils will definitely flare up, as you can smell several incenses being burned at once. Though they aren't of different flavors, there is enough there that if you open the door, you're pretty sure the rest of your companions may be a bit pushed back by the scent.
Yeah, I might want to cover your nose. Nothing. I mean, I take it these aren't smells that are, I feel like they're going to be harmful. It's just incense.
It's just incense.
Yeah.
Both Menfer and Demir, which still have Detect Magic up, you'll know that the door is magical.
Are there any like other houses around?
There have been several hovels around, yes.
Yeah, I'm just out of curiosity look around and see if any other door seems magical.
Some of the doors are magical, not all of them.
Do we
Probably
just
some
knock on
more
it?
protection. I guess so. And try to spellcraft to see what's on the door.
Yeah.
Probably not.
No, you do.
Oh.
Also, there is the macro for it as well. That tells DCs.
I didn't want to scroll back to my token.
It's fair enough. Looking at the
Far away.
door, there is a alarm as well as a opening and locking spell on it. So if you knock on it or try to open it, it'll basically tell whoever it belongs to that you're doing so.
It just seems like an alarm thing, and also spell to lock it and open it. So it should be fine to just knock on it, since we're gonna announce our presence anyway.
Just before that, you have to give me a minute.
Sure. What do you need?
I'm going to walk up to Clarke and give her a light slap in the face.
What's that for?
We need you awake, Blondie. You've been in some kind of fever dream.
In no fever dream. I just lost one of the Don't worry. I'm sorry. I'm awake.
Look, I know it's shitty for you, alright? And I'm sorry. I am. We all are. But we need them blades. And we need you here. Alright? I need you here.
Okay.
Sorry, man. Go on. Got no voice from you, no Baz.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, you lit up twice. I thought you were.
I was
saying that-
typing. It might have brought that up.
Ah, fair enough.
He's counting down the insanity timer until it gets put into the game.
Furiously typing macros.
I don't have any more macros I need at this point. I'm just making notes.
Like I said, he's making more trauma backstories.
It'll be fine. So who's knocking on the door?
I guess Mentha is. Nobody else is stepping up to it.
All right, Mentha, as you knock on the door, I don't think you have fingers. Your leafy arm nubs start to vibrate slightly. As you can see, the magic on the door react with your knock. The handle then rotates and the door squeaks ajar until it opens slowly to let you inside. What was that, Jaster?
You said the drawer slowly started to creak open.
The door, sorry.
Just
I
outside.
know, I meant this small, but come on.
It's like a cat flap, but for magic roars.
As the door opens, Mental first just kind of peek in. Hello, excuse me.
As you peek inside, you'll see a few candles lighting up an entrance room. Another door leads into a room afterwards, though it is shut. As far as you can tell, it's more like a airlocking system for people to prepare themselves to leave or enter. A large mat is set at the front of the door, with a few shoes set up to the side and coats upon hooks. There's no one here that you can see so far.
We're coming in now. And just steps inside. Wipes their feet on the mat.
As you step inside and wipe your feet across the brushes of the mat, you can see that the dirt just flows off of your boots as if they were water.
And just kind of turns around to look at the rest expectantly.
If you look at the mat is also magical.
Oh. I mean, I could have probably guessed that, but whoa.
Slightly less woo.
Everything is whoa.
Clarke will walk in.
I'll let Tamir in first, then close the door after us.
As everyone enters into the airlock entrance foyer, the door to the next room opens up.
I thought I can peek in first.
As you peek in, the strong sense of incense hits your nose, and it starts to prickle up the leaves atop your head. It is very sweet smelling, though kind of puts you into a almost sleep-like drowsiness, though you're able to stay awake. At the far end, you see a rather old Elvan, whose ears have elongated to the top parts of his arms.
Hello. Sorry to intrude.
There is no problem whatsoever. Please enter.
Thank you. Just start going in.
Yeah.
Might I offer the travelers some tea or coffee?
I'll have some tea, thank you.
The Elvan pulls a cup from his side and pours from a teapot at his other side and slides it across the floor to you.
Thank you.
Can I? It sounds like a silly question. Can I sense motive this guy? Because there's a lot of incense in here. Is there any kind of indication that they're being anything but hospitable?
Sure. They are being very hospitable. You may sense a slight bit of surprise that you guys have entered the village, but he doesn't seem hostile anyway.
Yeah, I'll just say, cup of coffee would be lovely.
The man pulls out another cup and pours from a different kettle from his side and slides it across the floor to you.
Thank you.
I guess I'll take a coffee as well, please.
He gets a heartier cup and pours from a different teapot and slides it towards Demir.
So that's 3 different parties poured from
How
there.
many pots does it man have?
Yes, it is 3 different pots he has poured from so far.
How many does he seem to have?
At his side, that he's placed there, they're now free.
This might seem a bit rude, but what's with all the different pots?
We have dwarfs within our settlement. They prefer a stronger brew. I thought you would too.
And you just had all of these ready and waiting for you.
It does not take long for water to boil, and you stood at our entrance for some time.
Well, that's mighty kind of you.
Does the lady not want a drink?
Just a glass of water for me, please.
The Elvan kind of twitches his mouth. I did not prepare water. He then stands up and walks into his nearby kitchen. And then he hands you a cup with water in it, and then goes back to his pillow.
Thank you.
What brings you to our settlement?
We're kind of just passing through. We noticed the wards on the town, and we're wondering if we could get some of the cream. What's it called again? Silver something cream.
I see that you are being tormented by those of other planes. I take it you refer to the Quicksilver Salve.
Aye, that's the one.
Sadly, we had some troops move through this way some time ago, and they were passing on towards Osura. They picked up many supplies, one of that being the salve. If you wish, you can wait here for 3 days, and we'll have some ready for you.
Well, if you can see the marks of our torment, you might know that might not be a great idea for us to stay in town for that long. And
One
the
of
longer,
you has the beacon of hell, and one of you has the maw of hell. It should be fine if you stay here but half a week.
we're also on our way to try to get rid of these marks as best we can. And every day that we have them is another day that we're not getting rid of it.
That is true. You must have traveled far if this is not the final destination. Might you be passing on to Mysteria?
They're the only place that we know of that has the level of spellcasting that we know of that can get rid of it for us. Unfortunately,
That is a wise deduction. Mysteria are far more entwined with magics than most places you'd find within Richter. Though, if you allow us the chance, we might be able to affect the hell sightings amongst you.
well, I'm fairly certain I speak for myself and for my companion that has the mark, that anything that could reduce it or even get rid of it would be a great blessing.
I'm sorry. How are we supposed to trust that this will be fine? I mean, I mean no offense, but we just met you, and this place has no guards I can see of. We're hoping that this bubble will protect us. That ain't worked so far.
I'm not going to force this on you. You know your destination. This is merely a stop, being point. If you do not trust that we will aid, you can leave.
And Crom, I'm sure that if they do render us this sort of aid, it probably wouldn't be for free. They probably got something that needs to be done that they can't send their own people out to do that might be able to help with. It's a possibility, and it might take a week or two off of our trip just so that we don't have to go all the way to Mysteria.
We do have a certain issue we would like help with. After we do what we can for you, you can do that for us.
But why can't we do it beforehand?
Having those marks and portals amongst you might make it hard for you to undertake our quest. If we remove it, we give you good faith and trust that you would undertake our quest without any further issues.
We would need to know what the quest would be before we agree to it. We can't just sign our names away without any knowledge of what we're getting in return, or what you're getting with it.
I can go into further details, but it seems that your friend there is not wanting of our help.
Our friend is quite distrustful of other people. He's very protective of us as well. He doesn't see things at face value. But it's a good quality to have most of the time. I'm going to go ahead and try to do an insight check now that we've been talking for a while to see if they have. They obviously have the town's best interest at heart, but I'm trying to see if they have our best interest at heart as well, or if they're being entirely selfish with this.
You can indeed make a sense motive and not an insight.
Yeah, I've been watching too much Critical Role. Sorry.
This isn't 5e. This isn't even free. This is PF. getting a sense of the old man. As far as you can tell, he has really pushed away a lot of the negative emotions from his body. It looks like he's just been meditating for a very long time, and he just wants to give aid where he can.
It's all right, Crom. I get the feeling that he's really just trying to help. And as I said, it's not going to be entirely for free. It's not out of the goodness of his heart entirely. There's something that they need help with. There's something that we need help with. And we don't have to say yes. If we can hear out the offer, and if we don't like it, we can just keep on going to Mysteria.
Well, besides, without the Sal, this barrier is gonna keep all of us safe.
And the town as well.
Yeah.
Fine. We'll see.
So, what's this little quest that you got needing our help with?
There is a creature towards the northeast of here. If you ride upon Chocobo's backs, it will take a day and a half to reach its domain. As far as my gatherers have told me, it is of a lizard-like vocation, close to a drake, though thankfully not overly large. If you can slay this beast, or communicate with it so as to have it not attack our gatherers any further, that would be enough to save your side of the bargain. It does, however, have magical sight, and if it sees you carrying that mark and that maw, it would probably attack you on sight.
What is the name of this creature, if you have it?
Sadly, I've not been given enough description. It is quick, and it has an apt for magic. As far as we can tell, it's a drake of some kind.
Is that enough information for us to try a knowledge check on? Okay. Is there anybody who has witnessed it directly that might be able to give us a little bit more information?
As far as I can tell you, you're not going to get much further. From what he is telling you, it is similar to a drake, and they are a cousin towards dragons. But from what he's saying, it would be a challenging fight, but if it's the only thing you do fight in the day, you should be fine. Or, conversely, he did say you can try and talk with it, as dragonkinds normally are intelligent and most know common.
Well, I feel like that might be something we could do as long as it's not too hard to talk to. We could try talking to it first, at least.
I feel like you missed the part of if we go near it, it will notice our marks will immediately attack us.
Right. But he said we do the ceremony or whatever before, and if it's successful, then we'd try to go and talk to or fight this drake thing.
Now
That's
you
why-
say it's part of the Drake family. Do we know if it can fly?
I would assume so.
It has wings, so we'd most likely believe it to fly, though it has never done so to attack our gatherers.
Okay.
Well, really, it's up to Miss Clarke and Mr. Demir.
If it's a creature that needs to be slain, I'll do it.
Well, more about staying here for a while and letting these people help you.
willing to give it a try if you are, Clarke.
She'll look back to the Elvan and just say, so you're saying it'll take about half a week for any real side effects to start happening to any of the population here? How sure of you are you that?
Half a week would be the worst case scenario. Depending on how your particular afflictions work through a day, at best you could stay here a fortnight.
I say as long as we're not putting you and yours in danger, then I'm willing to go for it.
I see no harm in housing you for 3 days.
Screw it. Bad luck can't get much worse from here, can it?
If it puts you more at ease within our presence, I could aid your friend who is seemingly sickly with their energies. He points at Clarke.
If you want this creature slain, it's probably best to make sure that I'm tip-top health.
Not tip-top, but I can get you half the way there.
Let me guess. You want some money for it?
250 gil will suffice.
Is that to get rid of my whole drain or just half of it?
Half. He'll get rid of one.
Is that all he can actually do, or is it extra to do both?
It'll be sense motive. As far as you can tell, that's what he is offering.
Do I know what spell it would need to get rid of the rest of the level? It's a higher form of restore, right?
Yeah, Ristoraga is a 7th level spell, which you would need a 13 level caster, and you're pretty sure you're not going to find anyone like that in smaller settlements.
Right.
Well, it's better than nothing. And she'll reach into her pocket and pull out 250 gil. Pass it over.
If you will sit in front of me, I can aid you, though it will take a minute to do so.
Clarke will sit down.
Cast and detect magic.
Alright, you want to do detect magic, do spellcraft to identify what he's casting. You have plenty of time, because he's taking a minute to do it.
Yep, I don't know.
It's a spell. It is a spell.
It's magic.
You know that it is a healing school spell. And there are very few healing spells that can hurt someone.
Unless they're undead.
There's a few more that would hurt you, but yeah. And after a minute passes, one of your negative levels will be healed. And I'll make a note on the days when the week passes and you can have another one removed. Is there anything else your party requires before we undergo the ritual to reduce the devilish effects upon you, if not remove them?
So are we doing this today?
That is what I'm asking. You will be under a trance as I do it. For how long, it shall depend on how severe your progress is. It should not take as long for you two. He then nods towards Menfer and Crom.
We ain't been affected.
The Mark and the more so, are a evolution of the devil taint you have. If you've been traveling together, it is only a matter of time before you would see effects. I would suggest you all undergo the process so that nothing would come up after you leave.
As Clark's already
Is
saying
there
down,
a-
she'll just continue and just say, get it over with then.
Should we not wait until the morning? We are kind of road weary. We did just get into town from the road. It's nearly evening. Do we want to wait till the morning, or do we want to try to get it done right now?
Depends if his effects wear off.
You are free to use the old guardhouse to rest in. Sadly, we lack an inn. We don't normally have much use for it. You can then come here on the morrow.
You hate someone outside the village. Aguado. Do you know who that was?
Yes, he is meditating outside the barrier, as one of his ancestors is harder to commune with inside of the barrier. Sadly, he was tainted during the wars, and the barrier makes it hard to talk with one such as that. He is not exiled or anything. He is just there as it is convenient.
Just don't like the idea of us all going into a trance at once.
It is more of a time concern that you do it at once. After I've finished with one ceremony, it takes a few days to be able to do another. You would eventually just lead into a circular motion of me doing two, and then the other two, for then the first two to be afflicted again.
Fine.
Now, what's gonna happen while we're in the trance? What should we expect from this?
You will enter a dreamlike state, and most likely see the different apparitions of your psyche. Depending on how strong your current visage is, you may have to converse or battle the other sides of you. I shall make sure that you are tethered. Even if you do lose, you will just awaken with a headache.
Well, that part doesn't sound too pleasant, but I guess we'll take what we can get.
And if you really think it's best for us to do it, kind of nods towards themselves and Crom, like, then I'm fine with it. Well, like Mr. Demir said, we're kind of wary, so maybe rest for the day and talk about more in the morning.
Of course. As I say, you are welcome to use the guardhouse. It will keep you safe from wind and rain.
Thank you, that's very nice of you. Oh, and thank you for the tea.
It is quite alright. Thank you for coming to the Elder's House of a new settlement to announce yourselves. Oh. We have another visitor.
What do you mean?
An orc has entered the barrier.
Oh, maybe it's him.
Maybe.
Mentas just kind of looking a little bit antsy and just waiting for the others to see if anything else is still happening.
Right, well, if this is all said and done, I'm assuming y'all want to go through this. Fine. That's no problem. We'll leave. Sorry, what was your name again? Or did you not tell us?
You never asked, and you never gave. I am Elfois.
I'm Demir.
I'm Mentha.
And the young lady? He then looks at Clarke.
Oh. Oh, Clarke.
Yeah.
I
I'm
wish you
leaving.
a good night.
Demir did mention Crom's name earlier, so they know
Fuck.
your name at least.
You bastard. I'm just gonna head out.
Thank you and good night. As soon as Mentha gets out, they start kind of beelining back towards the entrance, but like still keeping, not going too far away from the group, but clearly going towards, like, wanting to go that way.
You can go off on your own if you want. We ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna go set up the guardhouse. Anyone who wants to come with me can. The rest of you may as well go with her.
I will go with Crom.
Okay, well, I'll see you there in a bit.
Clarke,
Where's Clarke going?
Clarke, you wanna go with her?
I'm gonna go to the guardhouse. I'll be there just in a bit. Just want to do something real quick. I won't be long.
Jester?
Sorry, I was talking to Chloe. What's up?
Mentha's going towards the orc that just entered the barrier. Are you going with Crom and Demir to set up the guardhouse for your sleep? Or are you going with Mentha?
I'll head with
Mentha did say that they're fine going alone. If you want to go with the others, then they won't be long. But up to you.
She'll head with Mentha.
Okay then.
Alright, as Mentha and Clarke move towards the entrance, you'll see that the orc is being tended to by another dwarf whose hands are floating around theirs with a shining light.
Hello again.
It's the travelers. It's nice to see you again.
Likewise, I'm glad you made it. Did you, spot the purse on the road?
That I did. Thank you for leaving what little you could find. It seems that most of my wares were destroyed in the attack, if that was all that was left.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not much, but I tried to get at least some of it back to you.
It should be enough to buy some supplies. It'll be the rest of my travels on foot. If this place doesn't have a spot for me in it.
The dwarf then peeks up.
You're fine to stay within the village. I'm sure we got use for your muscles.
We only just arrived ourselves, but they seem like very nice people.
I've heard of such. Hopefully there is not the same people as before coming here.
It's all right, lad. The barrier likes to keep an eye on those that aren't going to be too friendly on entering. Nobody this far has been setting it off. And if there is, we'll make sure they tell you to get under the floorboards.
Is your group staying in the village for long?
Probably not very long, but for a couple days at least, I think. I think we'll be staying at the old guardhouse.
That's what it is it? Looks a bit like a overgrown greenery. If I find anything else to repay you for your kindness, I'll make sure to send it over.
Oh, you don't need to repay us for anything. We're just travelers wanting to help other travelers. Just look after yourself and your unhatched companion first.
Kindness pays back kindness. I'd like this circle to continue.
Nice, yeah, but you don't need to worry about us. We'll be fine. Well, I'm Mentha, by the way. What's your name?
We didn't really exchange names back when everything was going on. I'm Ruden.
Mentha kind of glances back towards Clarke, but doesn't say anything. It's nice to meet you. Well, yeah, we'll be also staying here for a little bit, so if you need anything, you can come see us, but just, yeah, take care of yourself first. You've been through a lot.
I thank you yet again. But I won't keep you too long. It seems your friends are setting up.
Yeah, we should probably head back there, but, yeah, I'm glad you're okay. Bye.
Farewell.
Backtrack a bit back towards Clarke, and if they're like also like spacing out again, just tap their hand and start going towards the guardhouse.
And as Crom and Demir get to the guardhouse, they'll find that the door to the entrance is also slightly overgrown, and opening it may take a couple of minutes, as we shall have our break here. And I shall be right back.
continue then. Alright, so Crom and Demir, you'll make your way to the overgrown guardhouse. Who is going to be opening up the door?
I'll do it.
Roll me strength.
Not the best, not the worst.
You pull on the door as you hear the snapping of several vines, probably keeping the interior close together. But you're able to open up the door as a bit of dust falls out, but generally it seems fine on the inside, if not a bit dark, aside from some god rays.
The wall seems sturdy.
Yes.
Well, at least it's got solid walls.
Not quite as clean as that Elvan's house, but at least it's got a roof on it.
Always gonna be the case. I'll check upstairs. You wanna start getting the stuff out?
You just leave the packs down here and we'll start getting stuff set up.
I'll pop it down with him.
If there's like a fireplace or something like that, I'll start setting up a fire and lay out bedrolls and stuff.
There is indeed a fireplace, and you can set up the bedrolls as you like. Would you like to smoothen out the floor as there are some vines across it?
Yeah, sure, I'll do what I can.
Rom, you can't say yeah, you just went to the first floor.
Oh, sorry, I thought we'd... Never mind.
Alright, you start tidying up the place. Crom, on the first floor, you'll see an overgrown training dummy, as well as a weapon rack that only has a few rather rusty weapons still placed in it.
At least we got that up there. I'm sure me and Clarke could do getting some steam out. Are the vines coming from anywhere particular? Like, are they coming down through the
They're
dummies?
seeping in through the cracks in the wood of the walls and the ceiling. They don't seem to be coming from one particular spot, no.
I'll just give the training dummy a whack, like a test whack, and see if anything happens, and then go downstairs.
Some vines whip off as they shatter, but nothing else besides that.
Yeah, at least it still works. And I'll head downstairs.
As you two are cleaning up the guardhouse, Menfa and Clarke will eventually arrive.
Let it go.
Oh, it's yeah, it was him, the man we found on the road. Made it here safely, so that's good.
Fine.
How are you guys doing? Oh, he probably looking for a place of his own. He might just let us stay in Magda. Was getting healed by someone from here, and they said they could use the help, so he might just stay here.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Demir's been doing the most of the camping. I just came down here to give him a hand. Upstairs there's a training dummy though, so might be worth venting some frustrations on that thing.
Clarke, do you feel up to cooking us some real food?
Jester?
You've done the thing again.
Jester! Chloe, get off him! It's our time!
And it is all again for this week.
I know, right? Give some slack.
Yeah.
Mom said it's my turn to roleplay.
fully expect you to say it's my turn on the Jaster, but that can be taken very differently.
But Mom, I want to play.
There he is.
She said, yeah, she'll cook.
All right. As you're setting up the guardhouse to eat and sleep within, everyone can roll perception.
Hi.
That's it. Get all the good rolls out. Okay. Menfa and Crom will hear this first. Clarke and Demir will probably just hear the tail end of it. However, you can hear a creature singing as it gets towards the guardhouse. Going to the guardhouse. Going to the guardhouse, yeah. Gonna eat some fun guy. Gonna... Oh. Hello.
What do they look like?
It is a very small mandragora who looks more like a kind of like a mix between a mushroom and a onion.
Oh, hello. Is this your place?
Well, I wouldn't say my place. I do like to come here most days. I like all the overgrowth. Who told you about my secret hideout?
The village elder said we could stay here for a bit. There should still
Oh.
be some growth left if you wanna come and eat stuff. We did clean up a little bit.
You cleaned up, but it was a organized mess.
Well, we didn't know someone else was needing it, sorry.
Yeah. But wait, is the woman cooking?
Are you hungry?
The mandragora just pulls out a small pot and spoon.
Is there a seat for number 5?
I'm sure I can make a little extra.
You should.
The mandragora walks over and plops on the floor.
Fine.
What's your name there, little one?
I'm Mosme.
Nice to meet you, Mosme. I'm Demir.
I suppose the rest of you are rather quiet. I'll call her chef.
He points at Clarke.
I'll take chef.
Who's the big
Sorry.
bushy one? I don't see a lot of him around here.
You don't need to know my name, little one.
Well, that's rude.
It is, isn't it? It's always walking into someone's place and asking for the food, but here you are.
Well, this isn't really our place either.
I
Where we
think
staying?
Fuzzball forgot the part where I was invited to have tea.
Were you?
Chef said yes.
Chef says a lot of things.
What do you mean by that?
I'm
She
going
looks
for a
over to
walk.
Chrome.
You crack on, I'm going for a walk.
Be back in time for your stew.
Um.
It's gonna get cold.
I'm coming with you.
Crom just looks a bit confused at Mentha, but won't say anything. Keep going.
Mosme looks at Demir in the back of Clarke.
So, are you the mom and dad of the group?
No. I'm just the chef. The name's Clarke, by the way, not actually chef.
Okay, chef.
Not in the literal sense of things, but maybe in the role sense of things. It's a little bit tough keeping, as you call him, Bushy on track, but he's a good sort once you get to know him.
Well, if you didn't have another Mandragora in your group, I would have been afraid he might have took a chomp out of me like I do out with these fungi.
I
I mean, he can be a fun guy sometimes too.
Roll me diplomacy, Clarke.
Any problem?
There it is. And there it is.
She's the one cooking, but
Chef makes good small talk.
Mosme just bursts out laughing at your pun.
Clarke just sort of like does a small little fist to herself, like, yes! I hope it did you proud, Dad. I did listen.
Somewhere in heaven. Clarke's dad is like, yeah. Well, no, I'm assuming he's alive.
Yeah, he is.
He might
As
be.
far as we know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
from when I
when we
last...
left, he was alive.
Clarke does
I'm
not
hoping.
need any more traumatic experiences, please.
I mean, Satan did say that he killed your parents.
He did
Well,
say
I
that.
don't know
just
that.
Satan and says a lot of things, probably.
He's a prince of lies.
Yeah.
I'm keeping positive thoughts.
Anyway, you had a funny joke. Fuck that. Have a good time.
And what is Crom and Menfa doing outside?
And then that's probably struggling to keep up with Crom.
Right back there. I think he realizes like he's completely outpaced Mentha at about 3 blocks.
I'm just gonna like, cast another long strider because I'm pretty sure we've out of the one range just to give up a little bit, but you're still faster than I am, so you know.
Come here. I'll put my hand down to her.
You don't have to keep rushing around like that, you know. And if you want to if you really want to get rid of me, you can just say so.
Why would I want to get rid of you?
You're the one who tried to storm off like you did. Tell me.
What do you mean, just now?
Well, yeah.
I forgot. Alright. Let me
Like,
leave you behind.
it's fine, but also you really think you need to protect us from another Mandragora? I don't think Mosme's any danger to us.
We've been seeing danger everywhere we go. If this place is as safe as it is, then something's gotta be wrong with it.
And does something have to be wrong with it? Maybe it's just a nice place. Those still exist.
Do they?
Well, Maeda still exists.
Fucking hope so.
It's a nice place.
It was. God knows what it looks like now. Vampires there. Folks coming through from all parts.
You really not trust Mr. Chancho to keep track of it?
Of course I do.
Protect it?
Actually, no I don't. Sorry, no I don't.
He's been doing it longer than probably either of us have been alive, though. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure he knows what he's doing.
I'm sure he thinks he does. And you know what? I might be wrong here. But that plague back there was big shit for us, right? We went through a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations. And it's still small shit out here. Everywhere we've been struck with suspicion, concern, hostility at times. And we still acting like we're the heroes. We ain't the heroes.
We're not acting like heroes. We're just trying to be the good people we are.
Are we? Good people, I mean. You might be. Demir
We
might
are.
be.
We're trying to be.
Mentor, I don't mean to bring this up, but I butchered a lot of innocent people in that room back there.
You see
Might be a long
Meta
time ago.
visibly like flinch when you bring it up, but they don't really say anything.
Y'all are alright.
We've already been through this, though. That's might have been your hand and your weapon, but we were all there,
You were.
so it's all on all of us.
And it is. I know what you want.
Well, we can't make what happened go away. All we can do is do better moving forward.
Yeah. And the way we know that is finding out what we're walking into. This place don't seem right to me. I just want to look around. Look, your fungal friend back there is probably fine, alright? But that old Vaughn, probably good too. Probably. I can't lose you, and I can't lose Clarke. I ain't stopping that. I ain't letting it happen.
You won't. You won't be losing anyone.
Clarke died yesterday. Do you not remember that part of our
I
easy
remember,
adventure?
but we got her back.
Because someone happened to have a piece of paper that let us do it. The one thing that we can think of that might have brought her back happened to be in their backpack. What about next time? Hmm?
Well, we still have more of those, and I think Demir spoke about being able to learn it.
Demir spoke about a lot of things.
Well, the important thing is that she's not dead. She's with us, she's making you food. And she was maybe starting to prep up a bit.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. It just don't. A lot of this just don't make sense to me. When people die, normally, they stay dead. And
There is magic that can help with that. We just haven't been powerful enough for it yet, but we'll get there.
that's great for y'all. It is. I mean that. It's just shitty being useless sometimes.
You're not useless.
Mentha, I'm thorough and I hit things. That's about it.
That's more than I have.
You can summon snowstorms. You can change geography. You can do all sorts of shit that you won't admit you can do now.
Oh, when one looks at me, anyone just stares at me meanly, I just die. Figuratively and probably literally.
Oh. That's what I'm here to try and stop. Look, I just wanted to see you around, alright? And I don't like strangers.
I get that, but what do you think's gonna happen? Even if we hadn't stopped here and they wouldn't have been able to help us, what about when we get to Mysteria? We're gonna have to find someone who can help us, and we're gonna have to trust someone to help with the Mark and the Maw situation.
Maybe so.
We're gonna have to let people help us at some point. And
Yeah.
if El Bois can help us, then we should take that help. This genuinely seems like a nice place. I get that it's hard for you to sometimes get, but there are still people who just want to help. There has to be.
There's also people who want to take advantage of anyone they can. There's evil out here in the world, and I'm not saying it's here. I'm not.
I know I've seen it, but not everyone is like that. Not everywhere is like that. Just really want to believe that there is still good in the world. After seeing so much pain and hate and anger.
Guess that's a choice, isn't it?
And then that's what I choose. I choose to believe. Because someone has to.
Someone does. Come on, let's go back. That was stupid of me. Not the first time I've done something stupid, but you know.
Well, better go for a walk than do anything else stupid.
Yeah. I suppose. And I'll slow my roll to mental speed.
We get back to the guardhouse. Oh, it smells really good, Clarke.
It's about time you got back. It's gonna start getting cold.
We were about to start eating without you.
Should have.
I look over to Mosme. He's probably already eating. Well, the biggest compliment to a chef is to see somebody eating, so that's good.
Mosby
Girl.
then holds up his very small bowl. Please, sir, can I have some more?
Well, hang on a minute. I need to make sure I'm serving up everyone for enough. Otherwise, there may not be enough for everyone. If there's some left over, then yes.
Mosby looks over towards Crom and Menfo and just stops hopping from one foot to the other.
I'll get out their utensils and pour them some bowls and hand them over.
Thanks.
If there's a little bit left over, Clarke will pour another spoonful.
Amanda
out for
just
them.
will take like a little bit of the broth, but that's about it.
Pour some more out for Mosme if
So-
there's some left.
Yeah, Mosme can have most of Menda's share.
Smells me need to eat.
If you
whether they should
no.
enjoy it. Yeah, that's just like the.
If,
That's why Menda's only taking like a bit of the broth to kind of eat and taste Clarke's cooking out of politeness, but
If
They don't
Mogme, fuck's sake, if Menfa, too many ends. If Menfa is
Mogme's
just
not even
having
here.
broth, Mosme is going to pour some of his bowl into hers.
oh, thanks.
Tastes good. Can't be
I know,
stealing
right?
yours.
Oh, I'm fine. I don't eat much.
No? You're not fine. Eat it.
Oh, okay. Looks a bit bewildered by the insistence, but Menda will eat it.
Mosme continues to eat his.
Are you
with
been
a
living here long, Mosme?
You could say that. I've been in Bacta for 5-6 years.
That is quite a while. Is it always this calm?
Bit more lively when we have visitors. Though we did have a lot of heavy feet come by a few weeks ago. I wasn't allowed to go to the guardhouse during that time either.
You usually get a lot of visitors.
We get a couple a week. Most people just buy stuff and move on. But I hear we're gonna have a new resident. Big orc fellow. I think he's a black orc.
Yeah, I heard that he might be staying here.
Was that Jasta laughing?
No.
I heard someone exhale air.
So where you lot heading?
I think the next town's Tinva.
Well, I guess it all really depends on what happens tomorrow and how things go.
There is that.
If you go to Tinva, make sure to get a lot of grub. They got lovely salty fish.
It's good to know. I can make some fish juice.
Ah, now I want to go.
I mean, you can come with us. You can just hop into the carriage and... Oh,
Carriage?
no.
I didn't hear one.
No, actually, I don't think I can take you.
Ah,
Yeah, well, we're gonna be on the road a lot, so it's just a lot of boring traveling anyway, so it's probably better for you to stay here.
the light feels so different outside the barrier. Could be fun.
Well, you could visit outside the barrier back here and then just come back.
Yeah, but it's not the same. There's a lot of trees here. I gotta go very far to get to just plain sunlight. Also, I can't go too far. I hear there's a monster in the woods.
I think we heard about that too. We might be going that way actually ourselves, but
Are you diplomats?
not really.
No, I just make good jokes every now and again.
Hopefully you can speak its language.
Would you happen to know what language that is?
Well, what type of creature is it? I just know it's a monster of some sort. Scaring away all the gatherers.
Apparently it's some sort of drake. Most likely draconic.
So,
which I
do
can't
any of you
speak.
know Draconic then?
No, but I understood that it might understand just common.
Oh, if you got faith in that, that's all you need.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need.
So where'd you come from? I don't see any colors on you.
Oh, we're from the south.
So you're from, Rottert?
Nope, further than that.
You live in the mountains?
Even further than that.
Oh, you're selfies! No wonder you're such a... I was about to say colorful group. You don't really have a color either.
No, we're just a group.
I hear there's no wars in the South. That true? Or is it just to put up some propaganda?
Nope, no wars down there. Nice and peaceful most of the time.
Maybe we should move Maktir down there.
I mean, if you want a peaceful place, then that's a good place to go. But it's probably gonna be hard to move an entire village that far.
Well, there's a lot of people here of magic, but Elfwa would have to talk with the Richter commanders, lieutenants, whatever they're called. We're in the Confederate, or the Alliance, the whatever we have within Richter. You'd have to negotiate our leave.
Yeah, it might be hard. I don't understand. The Richterford really don't like their own people leaving, do they?
Depends. You can leave and come back, but the borders kind of make it hard to go to the other kingdoms. I don't think that's, as you say, it's no wars with the South, so we can just come and go, right?
Well, nobody stopped us when we came in. Well, aside from just the mountains being, mountains and dangerous in their own right.
What about you, army man? He then looks at Demir. You crossed over, right? Mr. Demir, sir? He then starts poking Demir. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. What was the question?
I was asking, since you're in the army, you passing by on the borders a lot, right?
Oh no, I'm not in the army. This patch that you're probably talking about, that was my pa's. He didn't make it, and that's all I have left of him.
That's mighty disrespectful.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're wearing the stripes. You kind of, I don't know, parading as a person in the army, but you're not. Many people do that to get free drinks.
I'm not much of a drinker. I don't try to do that sort of thing.
Are you sure? I can spit out on your breath.
He wouldn't be able to.
Have you had some mints?
Say it one more time.
Have you had some mints?
I mean, I took a sip. That's not really enough to... And I also had a big bowl of stew, or whatever was made for us.
Fair enough.
Well, you can do what you want, I suppose. Not sure everyone's gonna agree with you wearing that patch.
Well, if they have a problem, they can bring it up with me. It's not like I'm trying to get anything from it, or to say I'm part of an army or anything like that. I'm just trying to remember my pa. It's not even like I'm wearing it in the same place that they're supposed to wear it.
Sure, a drill sergeant would just shout you out for doing it on the wrong side. You never know, you could be wearing your robe inside out.
Well, that is a possibility, I guess, but it's not made that way, so probably not.
Okay, then.
You were saying earlier about speaking to Conic. Is that one of your talents? Is that something you can do?
What's one of my talents?
You were talking earlier about speaking Draconic. Is that something that you can do?
Nope.
Alright, I wonder why you brought it up then.
To make conversation?
Fair enough.
May help us with what we gotta do, but so things like to speak their own language. They can.
That they do. Maybe I'll be able to pick up a couple more spells while we're here and learn some of the ones that we've got carrying around with us.
As you start conversing amongst yourselves, Mosme will stand up and start bringing together the bowls and cutlery you've been using. He takes it off to the side. You can see sparks coming off behind his back.
What
better
are
help
you
keep
doing
washing
over
that,
there?
boy.
I'm just cleaning the bowls, cleaning the forks.
Boy, I don't remember it. I have no idea.
Boy!
No idea what association they have.
There's sparks coming off over there, though?
Yeah. You can roll spellcraft.
Oh, okay.
Why'd you get it on this? It's a cantrip. He's using magical cleaning.
Oh, that's a nice little spell you got there.
Thank you kindly.
He then plops the bowls and cutlery in front of the chef.
Now this is what I call good service. I feel like I could hire you.
If you take me along, sure. I can be your squire.
Absolutely not.
So how about it, Clarke?
I'm sorry, Mosme. It's not you. It's me. It's us. If I brought you along, you'd just be putting yourself in danger. You could die just tomorrow.
Roll me sense motive. He's definitely upset as he tilts his head down.
Okay.
But, you know, if you're hanging around here, I'm sure when we're finished with what we're doing, I can always come back and cook you another meal.
Meal and jokes?
Sure. And I mean, if you're really all for tagging along, when we're finished, I can take you back to my hometown.
Yay!
Mosby then jumps and hugs your leg.
Clarke will sort of look up and look at around the party's faces and just see what their reactions are to what she's saying.
Nanda looks happy, like smiling at the reactions.
Colm looks pretty finished with it, but it's up to you what you do.
Demir's just got a slightly warm little smile on his face.
Well,
Mosby lets go of Clark's leg.
Well, I'll thank you for the food and the company, but I'll let you get some shut-eye. I like to roll around. I don't want to be kicking any of you.
He walks by Crom and pats him on the leg.
See you later, Fuzzball!
See you later, Compost.
Good night, Mosme.
Why did he call me compost? Compost is shit. I'm an onion. That's what he's talking about.
He mumbles as he leaves and shuts the door.
Well, looks like Mosme saved you all a job tonight. Doesn't look like you have to clean up.
Yeah. Strange little plant ball. Either way, we got a big ass day tomorrow. I think we still.
Speaking of, what are you thinking, Crom?
Hmm?
About the whole ritual?
I think it's shit,
Hmm.
personally, but I ain't gonna stop us having a chance at getting a bit of a run ahead here. What I would say is I fully expect this to go horribly wrong. I won't lie to you. My inner demons ain't great. Y'all good with y'all's?
There's
What
only
was the
one inner
question?
demon inside me.
Basically, because this ritual, if I'm not mistaken, is sort of we're gonna have to go and deal with the versions of ourselves inside in order to try and get rid of the mark. And Crom's just saying that he ain't feeling too confident about that.
I'm a bit apprehensive, but I think I can do it.
It has a chance of helping, then I think it's worth it. And what it say that even if we, well, don't make it, it shouldn't really make things worse either, outside of headache.
That we know of. I get it, I know. Before you look at me like that. Fine. We gotta trust it. We gotta hope this works.
And if it doesn't work, we'll just head on up over to Mysteria. Not worry about this little Drake problem we got.
Ah,
In worst case scenario, we just keep moving on like we were originally planning to.
well, no. Worst case scenario is we take the things of the people we didn't manage to bring back. We take them with us. That's something we gotta remember here. This ain't just a case of, ooh, we might have a bit of a headache. We could die. There's no guarantee that it is just a case of a little headache.
Well, that's just what could happen on the road anyway.
Exactly. So make sure you bring the kit and you get there safe. Or as best you can.
You think we need to keep watch tonight?
I was just about to ask the same thing.
Yeah, but we could probably go down to individuals. We got solid walls, we got whatever the hell this barrier really does. I'd like to think we have a little bit of scope.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Right then.
The party goes to sleep with their individual watches, and nothing happens through the night. However, as it comes up towards Clarke's watch, or at least the end of it, you will hear a knocking at the door and a voice in your head. Visitors, evening jinx.
And Clarke will head over to the door.
Not at all worried that there's a voice in your head.
Is it at my head? I thought it was coming from the door.
No, there's a knock at the door and there's a voice in your head.
Oh. She'll sort of just very quietly say to herself and like, say again?
Visitors, evening jinx.
It says again in your head.
He's gonna like start scratching at her head. What?
Open door, please. Door. Door.
Clarke will walk over to the door and open it. Just very carefully opening it.
As you open it,
Hello.
there is a quite tall Antika with a tray and 4 cups with steaming water within it. He looks at you, though his antennine head jerks to the side and rotates every so often as he speaks into your head again.
Good morning, visitors. We bring drinks. You thirsty?
Sorry, you're talking, but your lips aren't moving. I don't understand.
Yes. Hive mind. Hive mind speak in mind. Cannot speak words. We can roar.
He then lets out a massive screech, which wakes everyone else up.
The and Crumb's grabbing an axe.
You then hear a voice in your head, Crom.
No worry. Women ask for screech. We screech. You want some drink?
I didn't ask for Ow.
You asked if we could talk. That is what we can do. Make noise. Cannot speak normal words. Have to speak no words in head. You want drink? It's hot. But drink from hot.
How did you know we were here, and what is this drink?
Hey, tells most people. I heard from down other people. We know druid magic. Drink is, tea. Local herbs.
Clarke, what the fuck is going on? I'm just gonna look over the other two and see if they're alright.
Hello, Park, sir. Would you like a drink?
Ah! Hell with. I'm just gonna look over the other two.
I'll
Make sure they're
open the
alright.
door
And that's
fully
it.
now and just say, "It's this thing."
As you
Yes,
open the door
yes.
fully, the Antika takes it as a sign that he can enter as he just walks in.
What? Okay.
He
Hello?
places the tray on the floor and then stands back up.
Hello. Me drink drinks. Drink if you're thirsty.
Thank you. What's your name?
What?
Do you have a name?
What is name? Oh, think you call each other. I am 367899992.
I think that's what I got. Ah, it was 1-9 too many.
Yeah, did I put 3 9s? Weird. Alright. What time is it? What the heck?
Good
Oh,
morning. Near night, 8 a.m.
Speak
I
very
thirsty?
fast.
I want drink? Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be faster that we talk to each other. Give commands. Do job. Me left.
And who gave you this command?
No. Me left. Me left hive. Still have my mind. We bring you drinks. Me wanted to. Me like visitors. Bring cold toe tales. Give knowledge that not allowed.
What kind of knowledge isn't allowed here?
No, not in barrier. In hive. In
Oh.
hive, you grow. You do what you're told to. Not allowed any other knowledge besides kill, kill, kill. We don't want to. We leave.
And where is
Well,
this hive?
Hive everywhere. Hive underground. Hive in sky. Hive in cities.
And where is your hive?
Me don't have hive anymore. Me leave. Me don't like it. I don't
I
want to
like
work
how-
for the same thing and die.
But where was your hive?
Underground. Big. Many people.
Under the town?
No, not under here. Just underground.
Just to clarify, I take this conversation because they can do Is it telepathy to one person normally?
It's
So
it's all telepathy to one person at a time.
Yeah, so it's always like a really one-sided conversation when it talks to us. It's just us saying something and then nothing, and then we go, "Oh yeah, that I agree," or "Yeah, what Clarke's saying."
And the reason you left is because you don't want to kill?
That was outcome of me not wanting to do job when born to two. Me was born to be miner. Me don't like to be mining. Me like light.
Man, that is pretty shit.
And you knew we were here. How? Do you live around here?
Here. Me live in town.
Do you know anyone else in town?
Yes. They talk very religious. They like to meditate. They sometimes play prank and call him in their head, say I'm deity, but they don't believe it.
And do you know of the Elvon in town? Elpox?
Elwa, yes. He elder. He don't have hive mind, but he lead us. Does not need to lead us, but he tells us what to do. We don't have to listen, but we like to.
And bringer of drinks. And did he tell you to bring us drinks, or did you just do this on your
No.
own?
We do our own. We like visitors. As I say, you bring knowledge that wasn't allowed.
I bring knowledge? That don't really have much knowledge.
Everyone.
Well, how much knowledge do you have, just out of curiosity?
Very little. When we grow, we get told to do what our job is. I get told to do mining, and I want to do mining, so I leave. Now I'm here. I learn magic. I learn words. I also learn a lot about farming and gathering. Many things you can do if you learn.
Well, considering you seem to overhear a lot of conversations, have you happened to heard anything about the Drake that's causing a bit of havoc?
I don't overhear a lot. I hear the same amount of other people. I can just talk to people in their heads. If they respond, I can hear it. But Drake, yes, bring it one. I'm not gatherer. I don't like to do the job, so they don't make me do it. I just hear it be dangerous to people who do go gathering. Drink good? Drink good? Is drink good?
He just starts asking everyone if their drink's good.
Is the drink good?
It tastes like tea, probably a bit burnt.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's good, thank you.
It's alright, thanks.
We learn how to do this from Elder. We're still learning, but me like to do new things.
You keep at it. In fact, I don't even know if that wasn't me. I'm just gonna go drink it and start packing my stuff.
So you haven't heard anything more about this Drake? What it looked like? What it feeds on? What sort of abilities it has?
It has horns. Horns on the head. No antennae. Look weird.
No one mention a name?
No. Not many people here know about dragons and drakes. We don't even know if it is drake. Many people say lizard folk. Scaly. Not like me. I have chitin. Chitin better than scales.
Clarke will tap her armor. Sometimes armor is better than chitin.
The antiquaire then just knocks its chest. You can hear it slightly hollow.
Look, this is all very fantastic, but do we not have somewhere to be this morning?
We've got to go meet up with the elder.
Sorry, Vodkaman.
9992.
Didn't want to take your time. Ooh, you remember my name. Good.
The antiquaire then picks up the tray and holds it out for you to put the cups back on.
Sorry, this is lovely and all, but unfortunately we have a meeting.
Yes, Varg. We heard first time.
Yeah, I'm just giving the cup back.
Here you go.
Yeah, here, thank you. It was nice
Hope you
meeting you.
Hope you have a nice stay in Mukta. We come see you again.
He then turns around and walks away.
Did anyone else hear him talking in the head?
Why do I always get the weird ones on my watch?
Well, you know, like attracts like and all that.
Clarke would pick up a little
Nice.
bit of the ash from the fire and throw it at Crom.
Well, I mean, I'm covered in shit anyway. That can't really hurt too much.
I'm glad to see that everybody's feeling in a little bit better spirits today, but we really should be getting on the move.
I am being nice, but yeah, you right. Come on.
I guess we'll head back to the Elder's house.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we washed, so I assume we just caked in mud and blood.
Not your
and
feet. Your feet
ash.
were magically cleaned at the elder's house.
Just our feet, okay?
Yeah, you didn't rub your chest on the mat, did you?
Absolutely not. That'd be weird.
So just your feet and boots. I still don't know if Crom even wears shoes because his art says no.
No, don't wear shoes.
As you take your stuff and leave, you will see the Antica talking with another villager. Though the villager is talking, the Antica is just like rotating its head every so often. He then waves at you. Nobody hears anything at their heads though.
I thought we'll wave back.
And you all return to the Elder's house. He is still sitting on his pillow, though the incense has been traded out for a more honey scent.
Right. Well,
Morning.
Good morning, travelers. I hope you slept well. I hear you had a visitor who ate your food.
Yeah, we have mostly visitors.
I'm glad you had some company for the evening talks. Are you rested well?
Pretty well.
Yeah, we slept well. Thank you.
Are you all prepared to enter into the trance? And have you decided if you're all doing it?
Mm-hmm.
As ready as I can be.
good. We may as well do it now.
Very well. If you'll all take a seat and cross your legs.
We're doing it here.
Yes? Would you prefer it be done elsewhere?
No. Just didn't expect it.
It is more comfortable within a house.
I'll just sit and cross my legs with everyone else.
Yep, and I will take a seat and do so as well.
Yep.
Elfoir will hold up his hands as he waves them over you, and then keeps them still in a straight position. He starts humming and chanting to himself as all of your hair and fur or leaves start to stand on end. A wave of energy washes over you, and is everyone accepting it?
Can we do spellcraft or something like that first?
With your eyes closed?
I mean, I guess that's true. Sure, I accept it.
Is this considered a sleep effect?
No, because you can meditate without sleeping.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm accepting it.
Rom?
Are you gonna do this to me? Yeah, from the conversations we had and the talk with Mentor, I'll accept it.
And when it's that before Meta like completely took the post, they just kind of reached towards Crom and touched his hand and then settled on their own pillow, I guess, and took the position.
All right.
But up to you, friend.
Good luck,
The energy-
y'all.
the energies wash over you as you feel your minds start to clear. A drip of water starts to persist within your ears as the water turns to a stream, and then a waterfall, as the cascading waters blocks your mind's eye with a white mist, and the sound of the crashing filling your head entirely. Your body starts to float, almost as if you were flying through the sky. Images pass through the waterfall of your travels towards Mokta and the faces of the people you have conversed with. It ends on the face of the elder Elfoir, and everyone can roll perception.
One just to put us to shame, I believe.
It's not going to work, and you.
Oh,
Ugh.
Clarke just actually goes to sleep. From Demir and Mentha, as you're looking at the images ending on Elfoir, you can see parts of his skin start to grey over. His eyes dart open as the sclera of his eyes start to turn to stone, his body becoming a solid rock, unmoving. The image then falls away as you can hear voices go through your heads, until eventually the voices halt on a single word in everyone's minds. Murderer, murderer, murderer. As your eyes open, instead of Elfoir, you find yourself sitting atop grass, nearby stone cold to the touch of your hands as you try and push yourself up. The washing of the waterfall is replaced with a steady wind pushing by leaves and grass, the nearby stream having little ripples from frogs jumping into it. A strong smell prevails everywhere, that of both a fungus nature, honey, and even a magical hue that is hard to describe. And instead of feeling light, you feel very heavy, almost as if you're trying to be taken to the ground you're currently sitting on. And as you look around, you see your friends sitting in similar fashions, though no scene of the previous village or the Elvan.
Fancy seeing you all here.
Where are we now?
Who knows? But only way is forward.
Hold up. Yalu can't see that far. Can you see that thing in the water? That's the north of us.
Aye, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, just making sure we know where we're going. So, what kind of fucked up extraterrestrial magic shit we in for this time?
As you walk across the stone pathway, your footsteps echo as if you were in a cramped chamber, though you can see far to all directions and even towards the sky, though the sky is of a pinkish hue. And as the footsteps echo back to you, more voices come to you as I ask you to stop moving. Stop moving!
It's always you, Justin.
Never.
And with the footsteps coming back to you, you hear the claim intruder and to remove the devilish taint from our realm, as tufts of magic form in the air and dart towards Clarke, as 3 floating orbs of light appear around you.
We use attacks?
Yes.
Let me check something. They're not melee attacks, are they?
No.
I need to just check the wording of something. It does say melee, so yeah, can't do shit about it. My bad. I'm gonna search that. It's my swift gone. So it'd be 18 for me.
You can edit your number.
I can. There you go.
Clarke, you are hit with 6 balls of magic as you are pelted from all corners. As Clarke, you take a total of 23 elemental damage.
Did you say 6?
6.
Okay, interesting.
And first to respond to this assault will be Clarke.
Can we get knowledges?
You certainly can. I just need to double check the knowledge.
Faye, I think is.
It's knowledge nature.
Yeah. They're not animals, magical beasts, monstrous humanoids, or plants or vermin, I take it.
They are not. Alrighty. These are wisps. They are faintly glowing balls of light bobs gently in the air. Enable this image of what might be a glowing orb visible somewhere in its depths. You can learn 4 traits.
Can I ask for something a bit specific if you guys are up for it?
Go for it.
As you are
Fuck's sake.
talking about your next course of action, another one will appear towards the back as it shoots out a fish-shaped blast towards Clarke.
Why?
It's part of the surprise?
As part of the surprise, because it's been done in that.
Oh, it just wasn't in there.
No, it's because fish.
No,
don't
fish. Fish is adding more monsters.
This bastard. Alright.
Clarke, you'll take an additional 8.
For fuck's sake.
Wait, can I ask that we start streaming?
So did someone say
Thursday?
limit break?
I kind of wonder if they know they can be combat maneuvered, but I don't know if that's possible.
That is very wide-reaching, because some things are just immune to trips, but they are still able to be grappled. That'd be more like a question of, are they incorporeal? Because incorporeals can't be combat maneuvered unless you have magical stuff. I couldn't really give you an answer to can they be combat maneuvered.
That's fine.
You can ask if they can be tripped.
No, it's alright. We'll stick with what we've got, and I'll just work it out when I attempt to do what I need to do. It's alright.
Alright, so are you keeping with the first 4?
I believe so.
Like this.
Alright. Just give me one moment. Its weakest save is Fortitude. It has no weakness. It is immune to magic. And one of its special abilities is Fiddle, where once a day it can make a sound like a fiddle for 1 minute. And anyone who is listening to it needs to make a will save, or you are compelled to dance and shuffle your feet and eventually just are staggered. So it is the time for Clarke and Crom to shine.
They're immune to completely magic. That's not good.
All you have is immunities magic.
I mean, does it sound nice?
Well, gotta use
Any of the mushrooms you can see will block your movement, so you can't charge to the left one.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But what I can do is just use fleet charge and move up to my movement, so that's fine.
You can certainly do so.
At least Demir has his shiny new axe. And you have your shiny new scabbard. Oh.
Yep.
Showing their names just so you're able to see them a bit easier.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's fine. So we'll move to this one, and we'll attack him.
As you
She
move up
angry.
to attack him, you slash into the ball of light deftly as you bring down the sword yet again, cracking through its image. And as you do so, it explodes into very small tufts of light as it goes into the atmosphere.
So who's next?
Was it on the fleet charge attack?
That was on the critical.
Okay,
So she hit with a fleet and then the first of her actual attacks.
so technically you still have movement left if you want. Right?
She uses an offhand attack, which imposes a penalty, so no. She actually does
okay.
have to use a full attack to do that.
Alright, gotcha.
Tricky sword. Throw it, I believe.
Nope.
You could technically throw the sword, but you know the outcome of the roll, so not really. Because you know you miss, so you wouldn't do it. So it's even if you got a crit as well, it's a case of, oh, I decide to throw it, but it's negatives, blah blah blah. If you said beforehand, yeah, but either way, it doesn't matter. It goes to the west, to the south. That spawns up 2 more tufts of energy as they shoot them at Clarke. Now that they are visible doing this, you could make Spellcraft to identify it, but you're pretty sure you know what it is. As Clarke is hit for 4 damage. Demir, they are casting Magic Missile.
Yes, it was just straight. There's
Oh,
no attack
ruin.
or anything.
Oh, Ruin. I don't know why I said Magic Missile, it's Ruin. It's even Ruin on the sheet.
You've been watching too much. Cool.
I don't even watch Critical Role.
I like Dimension 20 personally, but that's just me.
And with that, it'll go to Demir.
Alrighty, I'm going to need to move a little bit.
Demir Waddle, I believe.
I have to look up my spell real quick because I never finished filling it out apparently, and I don't know what the target is for it. Alright, so this is a close range spell anyway, so that's fine. I am going to cast Cure 3 on Clarke.
Alright. As you cast Cure 3, instead of the normal colorations of a white glow, you shoot out sparks of purple But aside from that, it seems to function the same way.
Is it the same purple as the closest thing we could imagine to a void dragon, or different?
No, it's more pinkish purple, very light purple.
Okay.
The thing from the Void Dragon's darker.
Alright.
And that wasn't using any of the Void Dragon's mythic abilities for us either, so it's
Yes.
just regular old healing.
Is that it from Demir?
Yep, did Clarke get that healing?
She should. Rob? Rom moves around to the side and brings down his great axe upon the wisp as it explodes and scatters into energy.
That's some movement, a standard. I've used my immediates, yeah? I'm done.
Menfa.
Punch it.
Just... I don't have anything to punch it with.
Punch it.
Staff. Oh, it's just magic, yeah.
The staff is supernatural, which is magical. But it's up to you how you define immunity as magic.
I mean, that's the same like it would put about like just supernatural ability. Does that count as magical?
Supernatural abilities are described as magical. They are a separate thing from magic, but things that do affect magic can affect some supernaturals, depends on what the effect is.
As a GM, would it work? Answer is this. That's
Yeah.
What
all
do
we
you
need
mean
to
as a
know.
GM? I just explained it. It
No, you
may
just-
or may
you
not. It's
you can-
supernatural. They are different, but they are still counted as magical. If you asked for more special abilities, you would know.
Gee, I say you punch it, but go for it.
It just
I don't have
it just does that
anything to punch.
very high pitched plop noise when he does it.
I mean, I guess I could test a theory, but just
What do you
to
got
see
to
what
lose?
happens. What do I have? Ah, I do have something I could do. Are there any loose stones around my feet?
There's no loose stone, no. This is all work stone where you're currently standing.
Damn, that's out of the question. Do I have anything else that might even remotely work? Probably not. Guess they're using my ruin so that none of this stuff helps me.
Do you have shield or shield adjacent spells? Because they will help you. Because they absorb
The
ruin damage.
problem is, well, first of all, no, I do not. Second is those are personal, and I'm not the target here, so I'm not worried about myself. In this situation. I'm just gonna... Am I even close enough? That's also a good question. I'm not. 5 foot step and just blast mud towards this guy and just see what happens. I don't think it's gonna work, but let's see. Back roll even.
You shoot over a mound of mud at the wisp, but it just floats over to the side and you miss.
There you go then.
This wisp is then going to shoot some more ruin towards Clarke. As you are pelted for 6 damage. And the wisp will fly upwards. As it goes to 25 feet into the air.
Who got hit with that?
Clarke. And it goes to Clarke.
Clarke will just charge down to this one attack.
You charge down to the 7-1. As you slice into it, it falls to the floor.
Nice.
Demir.
Alright, I can see one wisp to the south. And that looks like it as far as I can tell. So,
That is it.
I'm gonna
But
move
is
up.
it really? Because they can go invisible. Maybe. We don't know.
Also have a fish in the chat.
True. We have a fish in the chat.
I'm gonna move up and I'm gonna attempt to attack it with my staffy staff, my holy staff.
Throw your axe at it.
Is it not going to be out of range?
25 foot up.
It's currently at 32 feet.
Oh, dang it! I can't move any closer. Shoot.
Can we? Is there no like range increment on power staffs, or is it just flat 30 foot?
No, power staffs are just set at 30 until you get improved power weapons wielder, which increases it by 15, or you put the distance enchant on it.
Okay, cool.
Alright, in that case then. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and cast Mage Armor on myself.
I have a suggestion.
What's that?
Can is haste touch or does it have range?
Is haste touch or does it have range?
Can you give Crom haste?
Haste is close range.
It's,
Yeah.
it's 25
You
foot
could
up.
make suggestion is you give Crom haste, I give Crom fly, and Crom can go whack it.
That's a
Sure.
that's a combination. Fair enough.
Ye-
I was gonna shoot with the bow,
Yes.
but yeah.
That's my
Fly is
suggestion.
touch, though. See what you do.
Do you
Can I
have
make it
haste?
to Crom? I do not. I can just make it to Crom.
How dare you continue the Mandragora singing?
Alright, I'm gonna cast haste on
I
Crom.
see when I'm nervous. I don't even know why I'm nervous.
They're
I'm
just
nervous.
wisps. It's not as if fish pulled in another one.
Yet.
Alright, so Demir's casting haste on Crom.
Yes.
Alright, Crom is surrounded in a red misty aura before it dissipates, and he is hasted.
Okay. I assume you guys have told me the plan.
I was just like, hold on a second, I'm coming to you, and then you can go charge it.
Can I hold my turn, or do I have to hold an action? I always forget.
You can hold your turn, and then you can just move it to whatever initiative you want. If you're ready in action, you only have a single action, and it also moves your initiative to that turn.
Yeah,
So it's better to just hold.
I'll hold my turn until after Menthers.
Menfa?
Over to Crom. And find the actual spell.
Fly is third.
Yes, I found it. I'll give you 5.
Cool. That's 20 feet, right?
Yes. Unless you're in medium or heavy armor, but I don't think you are.
I am in medium armor. No, I'm not. I'm in light because I changed the chain shirt. Yes, I'm good.
Crom, as Menfa pats their leafy hand onto you, your fur stands on ends and takes on a slightly yellowish hue,
The...
and you can fly.
What the? It's just... We talk about this after.
Yeah, we'll worry about it later.
I'm so yellow.
Sadly, I don't have a slider. It's either yellow or not.
It's very yellow or no yellow. Alright.
And we'll go to Crom.
I can charge that, right? diagonally.
What
20
would
foot.
be your fly speed normally? Because you went
20
down to light, so it'd be 20. So you have a 40 foot charging. Yeah, you would.
Sure. Alright. I couldn't move that, could I? Like, it would have to be a charge, I'm pretty sure.
Since you're going upwards with 40 feet, you're not gonna have enough.
Yeah, so we'd have to charge it to there.
Mhm.
Okay.
So haste at it.
Yeah, haste is added would make it 40.
Yeah, okay.
No, make it 50.
No,
'cause
it's
30 foot.
30 up to double of what your normal is.
Oh, so it's always
Right.
40. Got you. Okay. I mean, still get the attack bonus. That's on, yeah. Cool. I'm just gonna
If you
try
only
to
had
pause.
15, haste would only make it a total of 30.
Whack.
And charging up to the one in the sky, you slam your axe into that as it explodes into tufts that dissipate into different directions.
Excellent. Thank you, you two. And I'll drop to the floor.
You alright, Miss Clarke?
Me? I'm fine.
You got belted a lot.
Oh,
Maybe let's
this?
go after you.
It's nothing.
I'm sick and tired of it. Do you know where that? Do you know where that voice came from? Was it over to the north?
It came from all around.
Okay. Crom will sort of just say all around then in that case. Is that all you got? Hmm? Picking on someone who's trying to fix their problems? Hold up, Clarke. The other two are coming. Am I
As you
still
move-
yellow?
Yes, you're still yellow because fly is still active.
Alright.
As you get closer to the water's edge, you'll hear the buzzing of several wings as cries in an unknown language will come to your direction as buzzing creatures stop next to you. Or near you, not next to you.
I'll take that. Patience surge is high. Yeah, fuck it. I used swift actions for nothing else. I will surge it.
Yeah, I'm gonna surge mine as well.
Alright, just remember to take out your mythic points.
Alright, my dude. Get shrouded in a shadowy energy. Down to 3 now, I'm pretty sure.
Same.
Though since it's an immediate, you wouldn't be able to use it because you'd be flat-footed.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, you can't use immediate actions if you're flat-footed. You need combo reflex or something else to act in surprise rounds.
Okay. I'll put it back on then and take my initiative down.
Take it.
This is why I've got the macro to remind me of these things.
No, that's fine. I didn't know if it was something slight. Yeah, 'cause it's an initiative. It's an immediate, isn't it? My bad. So I'm assuming that other one goes before me.
It has a higher bonus than you, so yes. And if you wish to identify these, it is knowledge of nature.
Fuck it, there's a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Rolled 19 and 20 means my hits will be absolutely dog shit. Alright.
all of the traits. These are FFd20. They are tiny creatures that look like humanoids with large wispy wings and long ears. And you'll get an additional 4 traits of that, so it'd be 13.
You may as well just do the liver. I think that's all of them.
Let me just double check. We'd have more than 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you can pretty much just have its page with that. Doesn't have a whole lot to its page. Alright, that is what a FFd is.
I put the link into the compendium.
Yeah?
Just copy and paste it straight
I'm just
over.
gonna go and paste the link into it and just that's it. There's a name at the description at the link.
Okay.
I might add it later, but not now.
I ain't got time for that.
You pretty much just get its stat block, because it doesn't have a whole lot to it. Since you know it's only a CR1.
You rolled so high on the CR1s.
Now throw some ultimates at them, right?
If only.
We have a Vark with fly and haste, so same thing.
Do I
It's
still
not
have
an area
haste?
there. Yes. Oh, no, haste is round, so you wouldn't have haste anymore.
I still have fly.
I still have
You
fly.
still have fly. The one at the back is casting a spell, but it has to move first. It's flying to
Spellcraft
there,
it.
then it will cast a spell. Yes, you can indeed spellcraft it. It is
Okay, I
speaking
know
a
what it
different
is.
language, but that doesn't matter. It is casting light.
Okay.
A ball of silvery light darts towards Clarke as she is singed for 7 holy damage. And go to Crom. All of these are at 15 feet high.
Okay. I will... I think I can move. No, I can't, because I've got 20. I'm going to have to charge there. Cromwell just says he swings down the axe. Leave her alone, you insectoid winged son of a bitch. And slap him. Oof.
You bring your axe for its midriff as you cleave it in two, and its body disperses into several tufts of light.
Alright. Yeah, that's me done.
The 2 at the back are going to fly around to no, they go to there. To there, as they shoot another tuft of light at Clarke. Clarke, what is your flat foot touch? It should be your touch without any dex or dodge.
10.
You are blasted yet again for another silvery 7 holy. The one to your right does the same, as they will blast you for 9 holy. Clarke.
What's the mage's plan on their turn?
I'm gonna give you holder resistance if you don't go too far away from me.
Well, I can't even hit these things unless I drop both my weapons. I didn't know if I was going to be given fly or not.
That was
I
my
was
plan.
planning on keeping your life first.
Alright, if that's
Yeah.
the case, Clarke will 5 foot towards Mentha, drop both her weapons, pull out a bow and shoot her. Actually, no, it's not a bow, it's a crossbow. It's the K crossbow.
Oh, the kind crossbow, yeah.
And she'll shoot.
Is
the
that
one-
always being loaded?
Yes.
That's terrible for the string.
Game mechanic wise, though, it has no effect.
There's probably an optional rule somewhere.
Well, fuck you.
Optional.
Yeah, we use hero points, we use optional rules.
Yeah, we use
But
beneficial
as you
optional rules.
fire, you crossbow, the string snaps.
Yeah.
Which one are you shooting at?
The one on the right.
You shoot towards the one on the right, and that is indeed a crit. However, since you have the stat block, you know it has DR, and you do less than normal.
Did he get slept though? Because they're not immune to sleep.
Will. It fails as it will fall to the floor. And take no damage, so it doesn't wake up.
Damn.
Kind of good though, because it's asleep on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that'll be me.
These other ones are going to move around. This one is good there. As they will all shoot holy lights at Clarke. Clarke, now that you've had an action, what is your normal touch?
Oh, they said BRB.
16. Alright. Clarke is pelted 3 times for 24 holy.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my immediate action,
Alright.
and I'm gonna cast Close Wounds if I can find the spell.
Clarke is surrounded in blue light as her wounds are healed.
What? Is that all from all 3 of them?
Yeah,
That's,
from like
that's all 3 of them. Don't you go imitating a horse now.
I'm channeling the spirit of Mr. Gibbs. All right, leave me alone.
What's Demir doing on his real turn?
I shall cast Fly on Clarke. And well, let me double check something really fast. Nope, I can't do that. Okay, never mind. That's all I got. Yeah, that's it.
Alright. Clarke can now fly. Mentha.
is she also yellow?
She would not be yellow, she does not have fur, and she is already blonde.
Fair.
She's already yellow.
Does this count as any of these terrains?
Marsh with as many mushrooms.
For some reason I
around.
thought there was plains on that list, as in
There's place.
elemental plains, not field plains.
No, that's a favorite terrain.
Okay.
It's not for this, I don't think.
It'll be forest.
Alright. Then I think I will. We might as well. I'm gonna do this with a mythic. So there's all my stuff. Inspired spell. My cast a level total of 9. I'm gonna cast Elemental Resistance Communal
Nice.
on myself, Clarke, and Demir for Holy.
Spicy. What level is that?
It's a 3rd level spell.
Is it 10?
I'm just checking.
Should be 10 if it's communal.
I think unless it goes up because of the caster level buffs.
It's 11.
So it's-
It would do. What's your cast level for this?
My caster level currently is 9 for this casting. So it should be 20. So yeah, we all have 20 resistance to holy for an amount of time.
Is it
It's 10 minutes.
And-
long.
10 by
intervals.
cast level divided by people?
3, so
So it'd be
30 minutes each. Because there's
much,
3 of
yeah.
us, right? Yeah, 30 minutes each. So there.
Alrighty.
We're doing resist elements, yeah?
You're not getting it, Crom, but yes.
No, I'm just saying everyone else is. That's fine.
Yeah. Elemental resistance to holy for 20 for 30 minutes. Everyone but Crom because you're too far away.
Well, that's fine.
The far cadets will converse amongst themselves in their own language. Actually, need to double check if you can understand this. Menfa does. They're telling everyone the spells that you were casting.
Oh, they know.
Fuck 'em, they're gonna die anyway.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Crom.
We'll ignore the sleeping one. Charge this one. Yep, full attacks out.
Slam your axe into this creature as it will fall to the floor. Not take any damage on the fall.
Wait, it's not dead?
It is not dead.
Damn, alright.
You are doing less damage than normal.
True.
Goes to the one on the left. It's going to double check if this spell would do anything, because I cannot remember. It will do. This one is going to fly down to here.
Fucking colour spray. There we go.
It's all three of you, and it is going to ask you three to make will saves, please.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Jester's back.
Oh,
Just in time to
no.
make that. Jester, did you heal the 13 from Tamir's closed wounds, by the way?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know how low you got. Tamir is fine. Menfa and Clarke. You are both stunned. Yes, you are both stunned. I do have an icon for stunned. Good. That one is sleeping. Clarke is stunned.
Can I still do an immediate action? I haven't done one yet this round. I would like to get
You
Clarke some more
can
health
do.
points. I'm going to.
I don't think you could do Cuzspray. I don't think you could do close wounds unless they take damage. I'll double check the burning of it.
No, you're right. It does take damage.
It just says if you cast it immediately after.
You might be better off just waiting because they have the resistance, and we know they can't do much else apart from that.
I would say you could use close wounds without him taking damage. It's just not going to save him from death because he wasn't going to die.
Alright. You know what? I'll wait. I'll wait in case she gets hit with something. Then I'll try it.
And seeing that, this one is coming on downtown and doing the same. So I just need Demir to give me a will save, please.
Come on, Demir.
No. We know a lot about these things, right?
You know the DC is 13 because you have their stat block.
It's
Oh,
you would pass.
Oh, okay, cool.
I needed to roll it too.
You guys could have. You guys could have used your mythic points to increase it. You would have.
I can't when I fumble.
Fumble with a fumble, yeah.
Yeah.
Natural one, she just
Oh
fails.
yeah. Okay.
This last one comes down and does the same to Demir.
Good news is on the ground now.
Mm-hmm.
And you will save Demir.
Hit with the axe. Do it.
Hold on, I have to look at their stat block real quick.
You just snap the compendium away from Menfa.
They are resist to holy 10. So light.
Okay, yeah, that would not be okay. Okay. Yeah, I will drop the staff that I'm currently holding, draw my axe, and I will step up and try to smack at the one that's in front of me, and one of the ones that's real close to me.
Nice.
Alright.
Do it. Crit incoming. I believe. Ugh.
You haven't moved, but whichever one you're hitting takes no damage.
Oh, it's Silver Sheen, isn't it? Oh, that's interesting.
Counts as silver and never rusts.
That's good.
Menfa.
I tried.
I'm stunned.
Stunned. And as we go to Crom, we have gone over, and people are already doing stuff. So we are going to end the session here.
Ready. Thanks for the session. And thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.